Educating, empowering, and inspiring you to live healthier is our mission, so let's begin. Hey, health warriors. This is episode number 69 of the Life, Strength, and Health podcast. I'm Kim, and I'm joined with Jamal.
Greetings, everyone.
And
peace and blessings.
Yes, and thank you for joining us for this week's episode. In this week's episode, we're going to answer another common question that we often receive at our Holistic Center, Life, Strength, and Health. And the question in this episode that we are going to answer is, what can I do for more energy? But before we dive into answering that question, I just wanted to let everyone know that the doors of our health membership, our Health Warrior membership, has finally opened.
Yes.
We are super excited and cannot wait to share and to continue to grow and add so much valuable content and resources to the community. We had some beta users to go in and test out the site, and we have received amazing feedback. And we're so super excited for what's in store for those of you who would like to join our community. And this Sunday, we will be hosting a webinar to talk more about what the membership is, how it can help you to live a more natural and holistic lifestyle, and to kind of open the door so you can kind of see in before if you join, or if you decide not to join, that's okay. But we're going to go behind the scenes, show you what it's all about, the content, the information in the health library, live trainings that we have in there already, and really how, like I said, it can help you to reach your health goals by living a more natural and holistic lifestyle. So if you would like to join us on that webinar this Sunday, just go to healthwarrior.co/webinar. That's healthwarrior.co/webinar. That will take you directly to the registration page to sign up, and then you will receive information on where to go on Sunday. And that's going to be Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just go to healthwarrior.co/webinar to register for that. So now let's dive into our organic food for thought. And this week's organic food for thought is centered around heavy metal detoxification. You know, there's a growing concern about heavy metals in our food sources. The most known form is mercury in the ocean, which gets into fish, but there are many ways heavy metals makes their way into our bodies.
Yes, I think that this is a good one because it is a serious growing concern for people. I know a lot of people that do eat fish, they're moving away from eating it because of the mercury. And people are trying to avoid mercury in their diet. But the problem is that the heavy metals, not just mercury, you have lead and so many other things. The problem is that it's contaminating multiple food sources. So it doesn't matter where you move, you're going to get heavy metal exposure to some degree. So the key is, how do you detoxify it? A lot of times the food industry makes it seem as if, you know, you're going to build these metals up and there's nothing that you can do about it. But there is detoxification. That's one of the things that we specialize in at Life, Strength, and Health, is cleansing the body. So there are things that you can do on a daily basis to cleanse your body of heavy metals so it doesn't build up to toxic levels in your system.
There's so many ways to be contaminated by heavy metals. It's in our tap water supply from old pipes. Coal power plants, they pollute the air, which settle into crops. Industrial air pollution also settles into the crops. Liquid waste poured into our rivers and oceans. Toxic fertilizers, dental mercury, chicken feed fed to chickens, contaminated chicken poop used to make fertilizer, and heavy metal infested vegetation. These are just some of the many ways that heavy metals make their way into our bodies. And there is, like Jamal said, there is a way to combat heavy metals by detoxification. And there's a way that you can, you know, address heavy metals going into your body on a daily basis. And that's through consuming food that allows the body to detox the heavy metals from your body each and every day. And some of these foods are cilantro, parsley, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, sulfur-rich foods such as onions and garlic, leek chives, egg yolks, raw grass-fed dairy, and pectin found in fruit and vegetable skins such as grapes, carrots, tomatoes, radish, berries, apples, and pears. And these, if you eat these foods, they help to keep heavy metals out of your body.
Yeah, and I think that is important. We should be mindful of the things that do contain metals, and we want to try to minimize those things, but we don't have to live in fear because some people just feel like they can't eat anymore because everything is so contaminated. So you do your best, you minimize contamination, and you make sure that you cleanse your body on a regular basis. So including these foods into your diet is going to help you out tremendously. So every single day you should try to consume something from this list, and you know that you're doing what you can to make sure that your body is able to detoxify these heavy metals.
Definitely. And I will also list these foods in the show notes pages of today's episodes, because if you're driving, it'll be tough to write all this down. Okay, now, so let's dive into the question of the episode. And that question is, what can I do for more energy? And as I mentioned in the intro, that this is a very common question that we receive from clients coming into our center at Life, Strength, and Health. And it's certainly a very understandable one, that you need energy to be productive and efficient in your life. And when you do not have a lot of energy, when you're feeling low, you certainly cannot put your best foot forward. But when you take a holistic approach to low energy, if you want to increase your energy, before you can start taking or doing things for your energy, you first have to look at why your energy is low and where is your energy being leaked.
Yes, because we live in a society where everything is a quick fix. We take the traditional allopathic approach, just treating symptoms in a sense. So typically when a person's energy is low, the first thing you're thinking about is, my energy is low. What can I do to boost my energy? So you may go for the 5-hour energy drink, or you may go for a shot of espresso or other things on the market to increase your energy. Some people automatically take, get B12 shots because their energy is low. There's so many different remedies out there for low energy. But if you're looking at it from a holistic perspective, you have to look at what are you doing to cause the low energy? Like, that's what you have to address first. What are you doing to cause the low energy? And then you have to eliminate the things that you're doing in your life to cause the low energy. Or once you realize what that is and it's something that's out of your control, then you get help with. But before you start stacking on the energy stuff, you got to look at the other side first. That's a holistic approach to this thing here. So we're going to get into the top 6 typical reasons why people's energy is low. There are a lot more reasons, but we're just sticking to some of the common things so that you can begin to do these things and increase your energy overall.
Right. So the first thing you want to look at is, are you dehydrated? Do you have some dehydration going on? Because there's if you eat a lot of processed foods, sugary foods, caffeinated foods, if you take a lot of supplements, a lot of medications, all these things lead to dehydration in the body.
Yes. And, when it comes to just hydration in general, normally when a person is hungry, when they're feeling hungry, they're really thirsty, right? We don't recognize certain signals that our body gives off. So usually once you're feeling thirsty, it's already pretty late. You've already began the process of dehydration, and that begins to dehydrate your brain. Your energy is going to dip tremendously. It's going to affect your memory and your mental alertness. So being hydrated is very important. So you want to really assess where you are in that process with making sure that you're getting plenty of fluids in on a regular basis.
Definitely. And some things that you can do to combat dehydration is eat more watery foods such as celery, carrots, cucumbers, watermelon, citrus fruits, and pineapple. You can drink coconut water, or drink loose herbal teas that are sweetened with stevia or a little bit of raw honey.
Right. And I think those things are really important because you do want to drink water, obviously, but it's the other things that you do as well to make sure that your body stays hydrated. So a rule of thumb is to try to drink 8 glasses of water a day. I think it's a good rule of thumb. It's not necessarily right for everyone because depending on your size and your workload activity, you're going to need more or less. However, I think it's a really good rule of thumb. And if you go for it, you'll at least hit a baseline.
Okay. The next thing that you want to look at is your diet. Do you have a poor diet? Because you eat, of course we eat because we love food to taste good and we love how food tastes, because I am certainly a foodie, but you mainly should eat for nutrition because you're eating to give your body energy so that you can, be productive in your life. So pour food in, pour energy out.
Yes, I think that it's important for us to put this in perspective and understand why you eat food. A lot of times it seems like people don't understand that. We eat because we feel like we're in the mood for particular things. So that's emotional eating. We eat for emotional reasons. And a lot of times just because our belly is growling and empty and we just want to fill it, like we eat just to fill our bellies. So a lot of times I hear people, well, I was just really hungry and I just grabbed something, but they'll just grab a bag of chips, for example, and they'll just eat a bag of chips, but it has no nutritional value whatsoever. So a lot of times people eat all day, they snack all day, but they're not feeding their body any real nutrition. They're not eating real foods. So if you get all of these calories, but you're not being fed. So your energy is going to automatically be low. Not to mention that contributes to weight gain. So you want to think like eat for nutrition, eat to feed your body. Your body needs this food as building blocks so that it can make you as healthy and functional as possible. So we really have to look at this diet thing and ask yourself the question, if your energy is low, are you actually feeding yourself? Are you feeding and providing your body with the energy that it needs so that you can have high energy? You have to think about that. So I think that, poor diet is probably the number one or the top 2 reasons why your energy could be low. So you have to look at that critically.
So some things to address, having a poor diet is to adopt a whole foods diet. And in the previous episode, we talked about the power of whole foods. That's episode number 68. And I will list that in the show notes page. But adopting a whole food diet is certainly a remedy to having a poor diet. Stop snacking so much. Like Jamal was saying, you want to eat for nutrients and not just for calories, and eating more fat. Fats are a great source of energy, certainly throughout the day.
Yes, absolutely. A lot of times if you find that you are snacking a lot, then that means that what you're eating is not it doesn't have enough fat in it, most likely, or has too much sugar in it, because sugar causes you to crave more sugar, and fat actually turns off the hormone that causes you to crave and to be hungry. So you probably need to add more good fats to your meals and stop snacking so much. And then, like Kim said, fats are a really good source of fuel. But they also allow your body to absorb certain fat-soluble vitamins and minerals. So that's really important for energy.
Yeah, and we actually did a 3-part series on the importance, because it's important to eat the good fats, and I will list those 3 episodes in the show notes as well. So the next area you want to address is your blood sugar levels. Do you have a blood sugar imbalance?
Yes, I didn't read the study, but I was listening to a specialist that he specialized in diabetes. Can't remember his name at the moment, but he was talking about by the year 2025 that 90% of the population would be type 2 diabetic. And the reason why is because we overconsume, especially sugar. We have a lot of sugar in our diets. And a lot of times when we think about sugar, we just think about the standard white sugar or high fructose corn syrup, but we don't look at sugar as all of the things that turn into sugar in our diets. So what happens is we're over sugaring ourselves. We're eating things that are constantly spiking our blood sugar levels, which is causing a crash. And when you get this crash, you get low energy. And as your energy gets low, you start to crave sugar to raise your blood sugar levels back up. So we go on this roller coaster of snacking all day and consuming sugar all day. So we really need to get away from that. Even the so-called natural foods that contain sugar, if you're snacking on those all day and spiking your blood sugar levels, you still can lead to insulin resistance. You still can lead to type 2 diabetes. Right. So just because something is healthy doesn't make it the best thing for you to eat all the time. So it's really important that you watch those blood sugar level imbalances, because that's going to definitely cause low energy.
Right. And some things to combat a blood sugar imbalance is to eliminate the sugary drinks, eliminate the sweeteners, and even take a break from the natural sweeteners. Eliminate the sweet snacks, eliminate grains that contain gluten, and eliminate commercial dairy.
Yeah. And one thing that I want to just point out really quick when it comes to eliminating the sugary drinks, that also includes the fruit juices. A lot of people will drink bottled juice, and they think that just because it's juice,
or it says 100% juice,
right, that it's healthy for them. But that's pure sugar, and it's going to spike your sugar levels as well. So you want to be really careful with that. And even if you're making fresh juice from a juicer, you want to be careful with the fruit juices. A lot of times, the first thing that people want to do when they get juicers is make fruit juice, and that's okay. But really, juices are for making vegetable juice. It's not for making very concentrated sugar juices all the time, because that's going to get you in the same trouble as if, buying bottled juice and drinking that all the time. Obviously, it's going to take longer. You have a little bit more fiber. You definitely got more nutrition in it, but it's still going to be taxing on your body if you're having that all the time. You want to slow that sugar down. So you want to cut back on the fruits, add more vegetables to that. And if you want to have an occasional fruit juice, that's fine. You can mix it with something like coconut milk. So you could do a nice fruit juice mixed with coconut milk, and that's going to slow that sugar down a little bit.
Right. The next area you want to look at is your sleep quality. Do you have poor quality sleep?
I would say that this is probably the number one thing, right? If your energy is low, how could you not look at your sleep? Like, sleep is the main thing that's going to give you energy, because while you're sleeping, your body is repairing, your hormones are rebalancing, and your body is being refreshed for the next day. So if you're not getting enough sleep, then you automatically know why your energy is low. So you don't want to go low sleep and do stimulants. Like, you actually want to try to get more sleep in. So I think that this is a really important piece of the puzzle. I think it's the most important piece of the puzzle for you to look at. And I think that you'll get the biggest breakthroughs when you get your sleep in order.
Yes. And some good things that you can do to combat poor sleep is to make sleep a priority, to plan for your sleep, and to get at least 6 hours of sleep per night.
Yes. When you're getting less than 6 hours of sleep per night, that causes hormonal imbalances. Like, your body can't even produce proper hormones if you're not getting in at least 6 hours of sleep. I know for men, if you're getting less than 6 hours of sleep, you're not properly producing testosterone. And studies show that there's a significant decrease in testosterone levels if you're getting less than 6 hours of sleep per night. So that's really important.
Yes. The next area you want to address is your digestive system, most specifically leaky gut.
Yes, and leaky gut is caused by the imbalance in your digestive system between the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. The bad bacteria it outnumbers the good. We call that a yeast candida overgrowth. So it's very important to look at that. And one of the things, or the major thing that feeds that, is sugar. So we keep coming back to sugar and processed foods because these things will feed that bad bacteria, and that bad bacteria begins to pull away and eat away at your gut. And it causes, tiny fractures and tears and openings, so that undigested food and toxins and allergens and things like that can get into your system without being broken down or your body being protected from them. And that's going to bring your energy way down, as well as contribute to so many other things as far as like brain fogginess. You won't have mental fatigue, sharpness, stamina. So it can lead to a lot of different levels of fatigue if your digestive system isn't balanced properly. So if your energy is low, it's important for you to look at your digestion and question, like, how good is your digestion? Are you experiencing gas all the time, bloat all the time, indigestion all the time, any type of abdominal discomfort? Those are signs of digestive system distress. So if your digestive system is out of order and your energy is low, that's the reason why.
Yes. And some ways to combat this is to eliminate sugar and gluten from the diet, replenish the good bacteria in your digestive tract, seal the gut, and if you need, to go even further, to work with a qualified health professional.
Yeah, I think that's important because when you're dealing with digestive system stress, it's a lot of information out there about the digestive system, and it's all good information. But one thing that it doesn't account for is the amount of time that it takes to really balance your gut out. It takes time. And a lot of people, they do a few things and they expect to see changes within a few weeks or a week or immediately. But to be completely honest with you, depending on how out of balance your digestive system is, it could take years to bring your digestive system back into balance. Right. It can take just for the average person, it could take a solid year just to get it optimum, all of your friendly flora and the strands and the population where it needs to be. Everything is in balance and the integrity of your digestive system is optimum. It could take up to a year. So a person that's severely out of balance, it can take upwards of a year and a half, 2 years. And I've even read cases of 2.5 years to get your gut in balance. So if you have some major imbalances, don't think that it's even something that you're going to do in a few months. So you really have to take your time with that process. And I think that's where the professionals come in. They understand the time that it takes, and they're going to take their time with you to make sure that you're doing it properly.
Definitely. And the last area that we want to address in this episode in terms of how to increase your energy or improve it is looking at nutritional deficiencies.
Yeah, when we look at all of these things that we went through, with the exception of sleep, some type of nutritional deficiency has been created. So it goes back to the whole food. It goes back to, looking at your diet and getting away from the sugars and the snacking and things that's going to block your body from absorbing the nutrition that it needs. Even if we look at something like anemia, for example, anemia is a nutritional deficiency, right? Your energy is really, really low. And, they check your iron levels because, if your iron is really low, that's an issue with your blood, your blood sugar levels. Your energy is going to be very low, but it's also important to balance your B12 and your folic acid as well, because all of those can be known as anemia also. So really important to address those nutritional deficiencies. A lot of times people get the B12 shots, and those are going to be beneficial when you're deficient in B12, right? If you're not low in B12, they're helpful, but it's not going to be super helpful if you're not if you're already at a baseline for your B12. So really important that you have a balanced eating regimen to make sure that you're getting a variety of nutrition, a variety of foods, and not always just sticking with the same exact foods. Another thing is vitamin D, right? If your vitamin D is low, that can affect your energy levels. And there are a lot of people that are low in vitamin D, especially when you have that cold winter season where you're not getting as much sunlight and you're not outdoors as much. So vitamin D, magnesium, omegas, and so many different other deficiencies can lead to low energy as well.
Right. And some things that you can do to combat nutritional deficiencies is consuming more green leafy vegetables, consuming avocados, incorporating coconut oil and avocado oil into your diet. If you eat animal products, consuming pasture raised eggs, wild caught fish, grass fed butter and ghee. Eliminating processed foods and sugars will address this, and temporarily taking vitamins.
Yes, I think that it's important to get your nutrition from your food. So you want to try to eat highly nutrient dense foods to try to get your nutrition from your food first, because it's the most bioavailable. But at the same time, when you're really in a deficient state, I believe that the supplementation can really help to speed things along a bit. So you may need to take a vitamin D. You may need to take a B complex. You may need to take omega-3 fatty acids. So you want to take these things temporarily to help to give you a boost. And then you want to try to maintain that with good nutrition.
Definitely. So those are the areas that we recommend you address. If you are struggling with low energy, certainly addressing these areas of your diet and your life will certainly help to improve it. And for access to the show notes pages of today's episode, just go to lifestrengthandhealth.com/69. That's lifestrengthandhealth.com/69 to access the show notes pages. And I will list everything that I mentioned in this week's episode. Also, before you go, if you need a little bit more assistance with improving your energy or with any area that we address with improving your energy, then maybe our Health Warrior community is the place for you. It's a place where you get access to in-depth content, a health library, our interactive health forum. You have more of a direct access to Jamal and myself, so you can work with qualified health professionals. And also you get discounts on products and services and so much more. So if this sounds like something that you may be interested in, just go to healthwarrior.co. That's healthwarrior.co to learn more about our Health Warrior community. And if you would like to see behind the doors of the membership site, join us this Sunday for our webinar where we dive into the Health Warrior membership site and really show you how it can help you to live a more natural and holistic lifestyle. So just go to healthwarrior.co/webinar. That's healthwarrior.co/webinar and register for this Sunday's webinar. So we hope you enjoyed this episode and you receive value from it. And until next time, live healthier.
Yes, everyone stay healthy. Peace and blessings.